Do you remember to lock the safe?
Nina's finally got something on Drew, and it actually looks solid. Naturally, though, Willow won't believe it. Because when has she ever accepted reality when it doesn't align with her rose-colored view of Drew? In the end, this is going to come down to one of two things. Nina either spills the secret or someone takes Drew out of the equation entirely. Meanwhile, I have a feeling Lucas is going to seriously regret the advice he gave Carly. Turns out that whole listen to your gut pep talk might just come back to bite him. And Marco. Oh, he's definitely shady, maybe even worse than Brad. Let's be real, the writers wouldn't flash his name on Lucas's phone for no reason. And here's my wild theory of the day. Blaze isn't Natalia's daughter. Nope. I think Blaze is actually the child of Sky and Alcazar. Blaze was Luke's nickname for Sky, after all. As for Marco, who knows? Maybe he's Natalia and Sid's kid. Maybe he was kidnapped, or maybe he's just some rogue villain with no ties to anyone. Either way, he's getting off major trouble vibes. Now, let's talk about Kristina. As much as Ava isn't my favorite person, I'm beyond done with Kristina blaming her entirely for the miscarriage. Let's not rewrite history here. Daddy warned Kristina to stay away from Ava and said he'd handle things. But Kristina, in classic fashion, ignored that. Ava didn't push her. She grabbed Kristina's arm to lead her out of the hotel room. Kristina yanked away, lost her balance, tripped over Jagger's duffel bag, and flew through the window like a soap opera stunt double landing in the pool. That's on her, not Ava. Also, can someone please get Drew's brain checked again? I'm starting to think he's walking around with a misdiagnosed injury from that prison beatdown, or maybe he's got a tumor like his foster brother Franco did. Either way, something's definitely not right upstairs. And then there's Lois and Gloria's juicy little secret, Gio. He's been living with them for nearly a year, and surprise, he's actually Lois's son. The reveal is going to be so good. Oh, and let's be honest, Ava needs money, and Portia needs a way to deal with Drew. Teaming up would be a win-win. Let Ava help Portia take care of the Drew problem, and we'll all be treated to a storyline worth watching. I think Maxie's the one who finds Nina. The shoes and Caprice are a dead giveaway, classic Maxie vibes. She's probably still redesigning the house while she stumbles into this chaos. But of course, this means they're going to drag it out even longer, because Nina, she can blow up Sonny's life, steal a baby, and hold onto secrets for years, but somehow she's completely paralyzed when it comes to handling Drew. Seriously, I'm exhausted. She's done everything except admit they slept together. And don't even get me started on Drew and Willow. I've had enough. Can someone at General Hospital please duct tape Drew's hands behind his back? Maybe then he'll finally stop talking, and we can all have some peace. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Of course, Willow got caught. The writers just love this absurd Willow-Drufus storyline, and seem determined to drag it out in the hopes that viewers will magically warm up to them as a couple. Please, no thank you. Seriously, I'm so glad I stopped watching 6 months ago. It was unbearable even back then. Who are these writers, and what on earth is wrong with them? This is what they think people want to watch. As for Portia's daughter, I'm betting she's the one to spill the beans. After all, the whole thing went down at work twice. Or maybe Ava has some juicy blackmail up her sleeve, looking to shake down the senator for a little extra cash. Lol. Honestly, I think it'd be nice if Laura and Sonny got together. They make a cute pair, don't you think? Jason doesn't feel as close to Sonny now that he's back. I mean, before when Jason returned, it was this big, emotional reunion, but now, not so much. Sure, he's still loyal to Sonny, but their friendship just doesn't seem to get the spotlight like it used to. Carly's been pushed to the sidelines too, which feels odd. I think the writers are focusing more on his bond with Anna, which I'm fine with, but it's like he's drifting away from both Sonny and Carly. Now he's all about Michael or Sasha, his rivalry with Drew, and trying to be a dad, which, hey, is totally fine, but it's just different. They're clearly moving him more in the direction of being Jason Q than Jason Morgan. With Sonny, it's like he's always with Brick or Isaiah, not exactly the old dynamic. They're still friends, but it's just not the same anymore. And don't even get me started on Nina. She got Drew's safe combination weeks ago, and she's just now getting around to opening it. I can't wait to see what juicy secrets she's found. I really hope they recast the guy training Jocelyn, because honestly, he looks about 20 years older than her. I'm just praying they don't make him her next love interest, because that's totally what we need, right? So, I'm back watching General Hospital, because who can resist? And I've got to say, Carly's face is different. And I mean, different. Shout out to Sarah Brown. Somehow, after all these years, I got sucked back into this soap opera vortex, and I'm just trying to figure out where I left off. It's wild seeing who's still hanging around, and somehow, a lot of them still look the same. And can we talk about how annoying it is when they just throw a new character at you and don't even bother to explain who they are? Like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to just know who this person is now. I can tolerate most of the characters in their storylines, except for Trina and Kai. Honestly, they're just filler material, completely unnecessary. But hey, what's the deal with Drew? After seeing Portia go through his medical files, I'm starting to wonder if there's some medical condition behind his weird behavior. Because at this point, anything could be going on with that guy. I know everyone hated Nell, but honestly, how amazing would it be if they brought her back just to mess with Willow? Sure, I know she's dead, but this is GH. If they don't show a body, there's always a chance of a return. Come on, it's not like they're playing by the rules anyway. Oh, and did you catch the look Carly gave Jason when he told her she and Brennan were done? Classic Carly. I'm dying to see how she responds on Monday. You know she's going to try to argue with Jason, but we all know she'll end up listening to him in the end. It's like a soap opera law at this point. All right, let's break it down. Who do you think Jason loved the most? Sam, Elizabeth, Robin, or Carly? Who really had his heart? The suspense is killing me. And then there's Jack Brennan. I don't care what anyone says, that guy is shady. Seriously, how does anyone trust him? He was about to murder an unarmed Valentin. Is that even legal? I'm pretty sure there's something in the rulebook against that. Oh, and speaking of questionable choices, can we talk about Willow's home planet for a second? It must be a real paradise if she honestly thought Michael would just be totally fine with her moving in with Drew. Like, did she actually say that? Is that a thing people say? Chase might be on to something though. Lulu should really focus on herself for once instead of trying to play the moral compass for Dante. It's not her job to spill the beans about a son he didn't even know about. But the real kicker is when someone, probably Portia, figures out that Drew wasn't just a random guy turning into a cartoon villain for fun. There's someone pulling his strings, and Willow is going to look absolutely ridiculous when it comes out. The best part? Everyone, including the real Drew, is going to feel so sorry for her. She literally ruined her life for a guy who was being manipulated into pursuing her. I'm sticking with my theory. The controller is definitely Nell, or someone very close to her. I mean, who else could be so delightfully cruel, making Willow and Michael and the Quartermaines suffer like this? It's pure evil, and I'm sure Nell would find it absolutely hilarious. Okay, let's talk about the brief but very emotional moments from Friday's episode, because even though they were short, they packed quite a punch. First, we have Elizabeth, who looks like she's just seen a ghost when she walks downstairs and doesn't see Lucky on the couch. Seriously, you could practically see the panic on her face. But then, oh sweet relief when he walks back through the door. I mean, I get it. After everything they've been through, her fear that he might just up and leave without saying goodbye is totally valid. And Lucky, in his own way, reassures her with a simple, never again. Sure, it's small, but it's something, right? But let's be real. We all know they need to have that talk again sometime soon. Elizabeth clearly wants to be with him, but there's that lingering fear that he might bail again. Classic trust issues. Then there's the whole I love you situation, which of course, neither of them are actually saying out loud. Lucky's probably hesitating because he doesn't want to overwhelm her with feelings that she might not be ready to hear, and Elizabeth. Though she's definitely avoiding it because, well, she's still not sure if he's in it for the long haul. My guess is she's waiting for him to say it first. It's like a weird game of emotional chicken, but we all know how this ends. They both know they love each other, they're just too stubborn to say it outright. Lucky's line, I want to be with you because you know my feelings for you are real, and that's never gonna change, pretty much seals the deal. They've always loved each other, and that's not going to change. But hey, who needs words when the message is loud and clear, right? Now, about their relationship. Well, they haven't had that big conversation yet, but let's be honest, in their hearts, they're already there. Elizabeth keeps talking about we like they've already had the talk and sealed the deal. We'll have the house to ourselves soon enough. To me, it's clear they're together in every way that counts, even if they haven't put a label on it yet. Oh, and just in case anyone's still holding out hope for Kristina and Lucky, let's nip that in the bud. It's not happening. No romantic chemistry there, folks. Lucky clearly isn't interested. I think he's more concerned about Kristina's mental state than anything else. He probably thinks she's a little off her rocker and is just trying to help her move on. Meanwhile, it looks like Blaze might be back in the picture. Hello? More drama on the way. But Lucky? Yeah, he's just not into Kristina. I've always been Team Liason, but I have to admit, these scenes with Lucky and Elizabeth were pretty sweet. They really did a good job showing the unspoken love between them. And the whole L-word thing. Let's be real, it's not like anyone, including them or the audience, ever thought there was a time since 1998 when they didn't love each other. Sure, you could argue they weren't in love with each other at certain points, but the love was always there, simmering beneath the surface. Lucky's been dancing around it for a reason though. The last time he rushed into proposing to her, it didn't exactly end well. So now, he's being cautious, knowing full well that Elizabeth has every reason to be wary. Take that scene at the restaurant when they were staking out Cyrus. She was practically ready to bolt because it was starting to feel like a date. Lucky's not stupid. He's been showing her how he feels with subtle gestures, waiting for her to lead the way. And let's not miss that little gem of a moment on Friday when he said, I'm glad there's going to be a next time. That wasn't just him being casual. It was genuine surprise that she was even sticking around. Clearly, he's trying to read her cues. No way he's rushing things this time. New Emma. Honestly, I've come around on her. I was seriously on the fence until that moment when she told Drew to step away from the old lady and actually defended Edward. That was a game changer for me. Anyone else feeling better about her now? She's definitely become more bearable and honestly, she's helping me ignore how awkward Gio is. And hey, he's sort of growing on me too. I had a shift in opinion at that exact moment. I'm starting to think she might actually become better friends with Trina, especially if Joss is off doing her WSB thing. She's one of the few people not tied to Gio, so if they end up more than friends, we won't have another kissing cousins debacle. I haven't checked the family trees yet, though. It's like the writers have slowly transformed her from annoying troublemaker to quirky but smart, and now I kind of like her. I know I do. Plus, it's way more fun watching her with Gio doing normal teen stuff instead of being a brat to Anna and her friends. How do we even know if Jack Brennan has kids? His past is such a total black hole. Seriously, we don't even know who he was before he showed up in Port Charles. For all we know, he could be a literal ghost. All we really know about him is that he's a WSB agent, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and he, Anna, and Valentin apparently grew up together in the WSB, which sounds like the ultimate spy school trio. But beyond that, crickets. No clue about his family life, no mention of a spouse, and certainly no kids, unless, of course, that's part of his mystery man SH stick. And then there's Valentin, who basically shrugged and assumed Carly was just Jack's flavor of the month, which kind of suggests Jack's not exactly the relationship type. But hey, that doesn't automatically rule out the possibility of him having kids. I mean, soaps are notorious for pulling the commitment phobe with a tragic backstory card. You know the drill. The one great love of their life died, left, or something else dramatic. And then the person who's been holding onto their tortured soul forever suddenly turns a corner and finds love with someone new, just as the old flame reappears. Classic soap move. Honestly, anything can happen in soap land. People find out they've been long-lost siblings at 50. They discover surprise children and parents in their middle age. The possibilities are endless. It wouldn't be the worst thing if Jack had a couple of adult kids pop up, kids he has a solid, if somewhat distant, relationship with. We could definitely use a little more variety in the 18-40 age range on this show. At this point, you almost need a family tree just to figure out who's related to whom. Take Gio, for example. He's connected to half the cast by blood and the other half through marriages. It's like the writers just keep adding new branches to the family tree. Where to begin with this stellar hot take on Michael and Willow? Let's just say, Willow peaked about 1 million years ago, long before their romance took a nosedive into the abyss of boredom. Seriously, watching them together was like watching paint dry, if the paint was somehow also devoid of any color or excitement. The chemistry between them, non-existent, and Willow, let's just say she's the definition of bland. She could have been caught in a scandalous affair with Drew, and honestly, she'd still manage to make it feel like the most uneventful thing ever. It's like she's on a mission to make the most dramatic plotlines yawn-worthy. But hey, that's just my opinion, right? The problem with Willow's character is that there's nothing there. She spent a good chunk of time being manipulated by Harmony and Shiloh, which, wow, real strong foundation for a compelling character. She had a little fight with Nina back in the day, sure, but after that, she became just a boring accessory to whoever her boyfriend was, first Chase and then Michael. Thrilling stuff, really. And how do they fix her? Oh, they just brilliantly throw her back into that same old trap. Manipulated by another creepy guy. Great choice, writers. If she wasn't interesting before, just wait until you see her now, completely neutered of any personality. But hey, at least now she's got drama, right? Too bad it's about as interesting as a nap. Honestly, they should have just kept her as a nurse and had her actually get involved in some real storylines. She and Michael could have been a power couple had they given them any actual depth. But nope. Instead, they just let Willow rot in the most tedious, repetitive plotlines, all so they don't lose the actress KM. Because obviously, that's the most important thing here. Forget about a good character arc or anything remotely exciting. Also, I'm not here for the Felicia nosy therapist role. Like, why is she suddenly the town gossip and half-hearted therapist? Curtis's aunt handles that way better, with actual depth and real issues. I'm here for her, but Felicia, nah. It's clear they have no clue what to do with Willow anymore, especially after her cult and Who's My Real Mom arc fizzled out. So now, they just throw her in the messiest storylines they can find, because why not? It's not like they know what else to do with her. Willow was cute and fun when she was with Chase, but the second she got paired with Michael, boring. They have zero chemistry and she's just meh. It's like they're trying to make a scandalous soap affair boring. And guess what? Willow is absolutely nailing it. Why not just bring Kim Nero back? I mean, seriously, Drew's ex, the mother of his late son Oscar. There's a lot of history there. They shared a child, for crying out loud. And the last time we saw her, she was pregnant. Now, that baby could have been Franco Baldwin's, or maybe it was Julian Jerome's. Either way, the hospital could always use more doctors, right? And with Kim back, you could totally pair her up with Drew again, finally getting him out of Willow's orbit. Or, heck, throw her with Sonny, Jason, or even Rick. But here's the best part. Bring Kim back and let her make a grand exit with Drew, waltzing out of town in style. But before that, let's get some of that signature Kim Nero crazy unleashed on Willow. Kim was madly in love with Drew, even when Drew was actually Franco. She would have been back in a heartbeat once she heard the real Drew was alive. The last we heard of her was when Julian went to visit her and their infant son in NYC, right before Sonny and Jason had their little chat with him. Sure, she never appeared on screen, but we all heard her greeting Julian at the door. Honestly, I would love for Kim to come back, especially since Tamara Braun is amazing. But of course, she's probably still over at Days of Our Lives. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.